Okay, this is a demonstration of where we're at with the TREKK app. So we have the TREKK app working for iPhone and also for Android. So anything you see here, you can basically apply to Android. It runs off of TREKK.ca and it pulls data from the TREKK.ca API. And when somebody first installs the application and boots it up, it basically goes through a data acquisition stage where it just grabs information from TREKK. And at any point, if you want to refresh it, you just click refresh data and it'll do the same thing. It'll just go out to TREKK and it'll grab the latest information off of TREKK and then refresh when it's got what it wants. Now, there's a couple of different sections in here, but I'm just going to show these three first: the bottom line, clinical pathways and guidelines, and podcasts. And this basically is drawing from our resource repository on TREKK. When you look into a subject that you want to gather more information on, it'll point to a web-based resource which you can connect to. But one of the things the TREKK team wanted was they wanted the ability, once we had linked to a external PDF, to be able to download it. And so we allow for that kind of functionality. If it's something that is a PDF, you can download it. If it's something like a web page, of course, you can't download it. You just go to the web page and then you go pull up the information and then just go back into the app. When you've downloaded things, you can view them by going back to where they were, but you can also look at them under the central file repository. This also will store all the files. And at any point, if you're worried the files are getting stale, you just basically delete them and you can start over again. And that applies to the BLRs, the clinical pathways, and the podcasts. Although the podcasts are all web-based, we could make the podcast downloadable. We just haven't done that yet because it's based on copyright. For PEDS packs, we have a sepsis PEDS pack up now. There's other PEDS packs that we're bringing online. This contains a little more robust information in that it's a mixture of videos, documents, and other files and descriptive narrative. It works the same way if there's a PDF that you want to just download so you have it ready to use when you're offline. It's as simple as basically just finding the file that you want to download and clicking download, and it pulls it down. This is very useful for people who work in the Emerge because it allows them to pull down information that's available if they're deep inside an emergency department with poor internet access. We're going to be eventually setting it up so that these can auto-update and keep the content fresh. Then we have upcoming events. What we have here is, this is just a demonstration. It's pulling events from TREKK.ca and then it's just automatically mapping them. Let's see, consumer health information. This is just an abstraction of again, content on TREKK.ca that we've just pulled down to the mobile app. We're going to do a lot more with this, but we just wanted to get something up just as a starting point. And that's basically it. That's the TREKK app. Other things to show would be, oh yeah, persistence, offline persistence. So let's say you're deeply nested inside a certain area and then you close the app. When you reopen the app, it remembers where you were. Likewise, when you just close it, you can go weeks and weeks without using it, and you just open it and it boots up immediately. It doesn't have to go and reacquire this data. It just pulls up the most recently saved data, and then of course you can overwrite it by refreshing the data. Oh, and when you refresh, you don't lose your files. It keeps any files that you've already taken the time to bring down. Alright, so that's a demonstration of where we're at so far with the Android and iPhone related TREKK app. Thank you very much for watching this demo.